Hello, this is Claus Jensen. Welcome to game number 3 of this year's World Chess Championship match between Anand and the challenger Boris Gelfand. As we all know, the first 2 games were drawn, and with a match format of only 12 classical games, a defeat for either side is almost fatal. So, there are many people who fear a lot of draws in this match. But let's have a look at how things went today. Anand was playing the white pieces, Gelfand is black, and just as in game 1, Anand opens 1 d4. And again, Gelfand tries the Grunfeld Defense. And in game 1, Gelfand didn't have any real problems against Anand's knight f3 line, so today Anand instead tried f3 here. d5, c takes, knight takes, e4, knight b6, knight c3, bishop g7, bishop e3, and castles. And judging from the pace at which Gelfand made his moves in the beginning of the game, he was not taken by surprise at all. And also the next moves comes quickly from the Israeli challenger. Queen d2, e5, d5, c6. And this is of course still theory and also logical to attack the white central pawns and trying again to open up for the Grünfeld bishop on g7. h4, and the good news with this move is that we're almost certainly going to have opposite castling unless Anand decides to keep his king in the center. c takes d5, e takes d5, knight a to d7, h5, knight f6, h takes g, f takes g, and white has now opened the h-file for the rook, and now it was time for Anand to castle queenside. Bishop d7, king b1. The king has to leave the open c-file sooner or later anyway. Rook c8. And then came king a1. Another king move from Anand. And perhaps it's even safer on a1 than it is on b1. Or perhaps he just awaits what Gelfand has in mind. And Gelfand, he didn't hesitate. He very quickly played e4 here, which at first sight could look like a pawn sack, and it perhaps is a pawn sack, but at this point of the game the pawn is poisoned. For example, f takes e4 here would be met by the exchange sacrifice rook takes c3. And then for example queen takes c3, then knight takes e4. It's very strong for black. And if knight takes e4, then knight takes, f takes, rook takes f1, again an exchange sack, and knight c4 with the attack on the white queen and the pawn on b2, which would also be very strong for black. So Anand chose the best move, which is bishop d4, because he has to neutralize Gelfand's strong Grünfeld bishop on g7 by occupying this diagonal. Knight a4 followed from Gelfand, again a move that was played very quickly. So is he trying to psych Anand here by playing his moves very quickly? In any case, it's clear already that Gelfand has looked very deeply into many lines in the Grünfeld in the preparation for this match. Knight ge2, queen a5. And we can say that if Anand's intention in this line was to play for an attack, he surely failed, because all initiative is on Gelfand's side after this e4 move. And now Anand chooses to simplify. Knight takes e4, queen takes, knight takes f6, rook takes d2, rook f5, bishop takes g7, king takes g7. So, after a lot of exchanges, status is that Anand has an extra pawn, but it looks difficult for him to defend the d-pawn, because he has back rank problems as well. So he plays d6 here. And now Gelfand plays rook f to c5. Threat is of course a rook c1 check. So rook d1. And now comes a5. And I don't know how to explain a move like that. I think you have to be a world championship challenger to understand a move like that. But perhaps we'll see in a few moves what he had in mind. Rook h4 from Anand, rook c2. And being a pawn down, Gelfand still has the initiative, because Anand's pieces are horrible. The bishop on f1 still isn't developed, and the knight is also not too well. And with rook c2, he provokes b3. And perhaps now we can see the idea of Gelfand's a5 move, because he could plan to play a4 soon. So what I expected here was knight b6, and then a4. It looks very logical. But Gelfand here played knight b2, rook b1, knight d3, and now Anand can finally develop his pieces, knight d4, attacking the rook, and now also liberating the bishop. So rook d2, and bishop takes, rook takes, rook e1. And with rook d2, Gelfand goes back to the 7th rank. And now, of course, rook e7 check, king f6, rook takes d7, rook d2, rook c1 checkmate. So Anand has back rank problems. So he played king b1, and now he threats rook e7 check, but bishop f5 check came, and Anand saw nothing better than to exchange, and rook e7 check, king g6, and rook c7. And is Anand all of a sudden winning now? No, of course he's not, because Gelfand plays rook e1, rook e8, and with the dominating rook on the 7th rank, I think he is always sure of a draw here. Rook h1 to defend against check on the back rank, rook e to e2, and now the draw is inevitable. d7, rook b2 check, king c1, rook takes a2, and here a draw was agreed. And of course, Anand cannot queen d8. Queening would lead to rook a1 checkmate. So it was a draw, and I'm sure a lot of people will say we had another boring draw, but I don't agree. I think we had an interesting game with very deep preparation from Gelfand. At least that's what the impression he sent to Anand. And at one point he seemed to perhaps play the position very optimistically, but he never had a problem drawing the game because of the 7th rank domination and back rank threats. So it will be interesting to see if Anand continues to battle in the Grünfeld, or if he switches to 1 e4 at some point in the match. Thank you for watching this video analysis of the 3rd game, and please visit my chess website at klausjensen.com for more videos, chess tests and downloads. Bye bye for now.